Been a bit. Been feeling a little nervous about streaming. But just deciding to start now. Let's get started. Item number SCP-4012. Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-4012-1 is itself surrounded with a 3-meter-high security fence, topped with a coiled barbed wire, and access through a level 8 standard pedestrian security gate, staffed by 2 personnel from Provisional Site 30. This fencing gate had been set up under the guise of a U.S. military installation, and appropriate signage has been erected. The entire structure is to surround SCP-4012-1 at a distance of 1 kilometer. All personnel monitoring expeditions are to take 20-minute shifts to negate the psychological effects of viewing the interior of SCP-4012. Personnel finishing shifts are to be blindfolded and made to lie down in a darkened room for a minimum of 1 hour, under the supervision and care of site psychologists, and rotated out to normal duty after 2 hours. All access to the unredacted transcripts and video logs of expeditions into SCP-4012 are to be protected by the Bergman-Lynch incapacitation memetic videos. The Department of Memetics has analyzed memetic corruption within the logs of SCP-4012 and decided that the footage in the Bergman-Lynch memes should be sourced from horror films and uploaded to a private YouTube channel for maximum effectiveness. Under no circumstances is footage from poetry readings, science fiction movies, or religious sermons to be used in the footage, as these sources directly increase the memetic effects of unredacted content. Use of films containing amateurish acting or acting which does not affect realistic behavior is recommended. All memetic corruption is in the process of being edited out of documents. However, as some of the content is the only record of certain aspects of SCP-4012, research is currently ongoing. Personnel wishing to read unedited documents without experimenting the full memetic effects must first consume a standard dose of agnostics. No non-D-Class personnel are to enter SCP-4012. All personnel entering SCP-4012 are to be considered not lost but normal. Description: SCP-4012 is a large extra-dimensional space resembling Earth, but displaying significant deviations in terms of space, chronological procession, and dominant species. Certain elements within SCP-4012 have a memetic effect on those remotely or directly viewing the interior. This memetic effect is likely correlated with viewer perceptions of religious and normality. These elements directly impact the psychological and psychological makeup of a viewer who has prolonged exposure to the interior. See addendums. Locations within SCP-4012 correspond to regions but not distinct settlements and places. SCP-4012 is surrounded by SCP-4012-1, a large plastic fence with a perimeter of 27 kilometers, located in the forest outside Camden, Maine, itself with a simple latching metal gate. A rough hike path begins outside SCP-4012-1 and appears to extend into the early portions of SCP-402-1. It is unknown who constructed SCP-402-1. The gate and fence have no identifying marks except a small, spray-painted logo resembling a dock, located on the underside of the gate. The internal area that SCP-4012-1 encloses is impossible to measure because any object entering SCP-4012-1 is also immediately enters 4021 or 4012. Foundation expeditions have determined a point roughly 135 meters along the path segments that initially runs through SCP-4012, where it is possible for one to turn around and retrace their steps to SCP-4012-1 without becoming subject to the effects of SCP-4012. But this location is not consistent. Attempts to return to the gate past this position fail due to some inconsistent geography. Dominant species within SCP-4012, collectively designated SCP-4012-2, vary based on entrant. Streamed video and radio can penetrate SCP-4012 with ease. However, GPS has failed to locate subjects within, and satellite imagery shows empty forest. Most entrants to SCP-4012 follow a similar experience involving an eventual presumed cessation of life. All do not return. Addendum Exped Alpha 3 Unredact Level 5/4012 required. Access granted. Oh, a video. Can we play this? Find out. Is it okay to play this? Rest in peace, that lad. I don't know, I guess I'll just link it in the description, maybe? Also, this is going to be a fairly short stream. Maybe only until 3 or so. Oh. To the next one. Item number SCP-5553. Did I read this one? I remember. No, let's just read it. Object Class Getter. Secure Containment Procedures. New procedures following the escape of D-7372 SCP-5553 remains uncontained at this time. However, Foundation personnel with special clearance PSM-1 are required to engage with SCP-5553 regularly, each day from a non-Foundation personnel computer, and file reports with External Affairs Team Sierra 661 in order to refer useful information obtained from SCP-5553 to local new law enforcement agencies. Description: SCP-5553 is a social media networking site called Jack, accessible from URLs https://jack.redacted. Its features include status posting, photo sharing, a news feed, public and private commenting, and direct private messaging. The site is only accessible to people who have committed serial murder of at least 3 victims. Persons who are not eligible to view the site content are exposed to info hazard that causes confusion and memory loss related to the contents of the webpage. In approximately 5% of cases, this effect is more severe, causing nearly instantaneous quadriplegia, intense pain, and subject death within 10 minutes, after which the device connected to SCP-5553 disconnects and shuts down. Premature shutdown of the device does not mitigate the lethal effects of the info hazard. Addenda 5553.1 Invitations to join the site are sent via email to users with internet access who meet the above condition, designation PSM-0. These emails are removed from the above invalid .redacted domain, but are otherwise non-anomalous. Upon joining the site, PSM-0 users are allowed to utilize the site's features. They can create a user profile under a pseudonym or their real name if they so choose, and join discussion forums. These forums cover many topics related to homicide and other off-topic subject matter. Several of these forums cater to specific interests, including support groups for users who want to perform a repent or for past actions. Advice boards dedicated to sharing tips and tricks and strategies to perform murders without being caught. The most popular board, the Showcase, allows users to have their own individual page to act as a portfolio of past murders performed. According to the site's About page, it was launched in 1999 by an entity under the pseudonym Moriarty. Reviews of ICANN records have produced no evidence of such a domain being registered, as .redacted is not a valid top-level domain. An attempt to force ICANN to create the .redacted domain for Foundation use is in progress. An example of the news feed is reproduced below with the aid of a graphic artist. Newsfeed. Dawn Bontelli shared. I can't fucking take this. I'm sitting here, it's been months, and they haven't found her. They've called off the search and everything, and I still can't sleep. This happens every time. Doesn't matter how careful I am, I'm always afraid I'm going to get caught. Does anyone ever get over this? How do you deal with all of it? Argonaut replied, stop being a pussy. Meteoroid replied, we all deal with it differently. Message me if you need. Arglefraster posted to weekend activities. It had to be done. It was the way he looked at me. It wasn't acceptable. He should have known better. He should have known better. He should have known more carefully. He should have thought more carefully. But it's too late now. And now I have to show it. And now I have to show for it. What? But it's too late now, and what I have to show for it are these photographs, which... read more. Addenda 553.2 Testing. Testing was performed with D7372, who was convicted of 6 homicides he performed over 4 years while working as a stockbroker. When the matter of SCP-5553 was discussed with D7372 by Foundation operative posing as a D-class personnel, D7372 admitted he had an account before his incarceration. D7372 was transferred to Site-651 and interviewed by Foundation staff. D7372 agreed to aid Foundation researchers in providing information about the contents of SCP-5553. Testing log number 1. Newsfeed. D7372 is provided a laptop with restricted internet access and is seated across a desk from Dr. Holt, Foundation researcher. D7372 is instructed to read through various items on his newsfeed. A short excerpt is included below. Canada never shared. It's been 10 years and I haven't done it again, but I wanted to. I still hurt. I want it to stop. Adam Keppernickel posted to support. Planning for Friday. Can I live stream to the site? Moriarty replied, yes. Rutherford Hates updated his showcase with a new entry. Information is recovered from the profile of user Adam Keppernickel and referred to external affairs. Subject was apprehended by local law enforcement during an attempted murder. Testing log 2. Posting to the newsfeed. D7372 is instructed to make an innocuous post on the forum and report back the replies after an hour. Rendon2 posted the life updates. Hey, I got internet access on good behavior. Should be seeing outside in 15 to 20. Anything new in your part of the world? Casimir replied, more paintings. No, you're not alone in your cell, brother. Prefecture replied, bravo, good to have you back with us. Havoc McBray replied, oh, got caught. Not good, bro. Sucks to be you. Moriarty replied, how are things on the inside? Test is concluded. Testing log 3, Moriarty. D7372 receives a private message from Moriarty. D7372 states he has never spoken to Moriarty before. 7372 is authorized to interact with Moriarty and respond as instructed, while relaying their responses. The conversation as reported by D7372 is as follows. Moriarty, you were relatively active until recently. I was worried something had happened. Rendon 2. I got in trouble and had internet privileges taken away. That's a shame. You were so good at supporting people wanting to reform. Well, I don't want them to end up like me, but hey, why are you reaching out to me personally? I'm nobody. I don't think you're nobody. You're one of us. We need to look out for. And support each other. What other support can you provide? According to D7372, Moriarty does not respond for about 20 minutes. Test is concluded. Addenda 553.3 Incident 553.-A 72 hours after the end of the last test with D7372, Site-651 suffered what appeared to be a non-anomalous security breach. D7372 utilizing previously unknown knowledge of Foundation security protocols. Exited his holding cell, killing 2 Foundation personnel and successfully passed through 3 security checkpoints with unanticipated precision before escaping into the desert. An investigation into the escape revealed several including flaws on both personnel and software protocols, which were quickly remedied. Addenda 553.4 Personnel Request. The following memo was sent out to Foundation staff after receiving approvals from personnel and internal affairs directors. Personnel Request. If you have a social media account on https://jack.redacted, please contact me immediately. Your privacy will be protected and your expertise is required. All others, please disregard this memo. Janet Hu, Director, Site-651. 13 personnel responding to this request were designated PSM-1-A through PSM-1-M. Addenda 553.5 Incident 553.A continued. PSM-1F was given access to screen recordings of D7372's sessions interacting with SCP-5553. PSM-1F reported to D7372 had not been accurate or honest in the contents of the conversations with Moriarty. PSM-1F reports the following conversation took place. Moriarty. I know where you are. I know who's holding you. It's alright. I'm here to help you. Tell them I said you're active until recently, and I was worried about your well-being. Ask them if you're allowed to converse with me. They will likely say yes, as it will be an opportunity for them to get information, and that tends to blind their common sense sometimes. Rendon 2. I got in trouble and had internet privilege taken away. Good, you're back. I spent the last days getting information for you. Let me know when you're ready. In the meantime, let them know that I've replied with something polite and that you are actively wanting people to reform. They don't need to know your real past history. Lol. Well, I don't want them to end up like me. But hey, why are you reaching out to me personally? I'm nobody. Slow or clear, I'm not doing this for free. You will work for me until the day you die. But you're going to be a free man, so there's that. Ready? Tell them I said something nice and polite. What other support can you provide? At this point, Moriarty spent 15 minutes explaining an intricate plan to escape utilizing classified documents and schematics until the test ended. At the time of this writing, PSM1 users report that D7372's account is again actively posting. Addenda 5553.6 Brief Conversation with Moriarty. Today, PSM1C reported a brief exchange on SCP-5553 with Moriarty. PSM1C's username below is Goldfather. False Prophet posted a life updates. Fuck. Got up to use the bathroom, wife peeked at the computer and had a seizure and died. Moriarty replied, tough luck there, chum. Goldfather replied, hey, Moriarty, why does it kill people sometimes? Isn't the confusion enough? Moriarty replied, at Goldfather, Jack.redacted /Moriarty /showcase. Guess that's it. Footnotes: the Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers. Here's the next one. Item number SCP-4056. Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. Foundation personnel are to be stationed outside of SCP-4056 to amnestize any civilians who encounter the anomaly. Select humanoids within SCP-4056 have been transferred to be contained at Site-17. See Addendum 4056.2 for details. Description: SCP-4056 is a facility located in northern Alaska. SCP-4056 contains approximately 550 different humanoids in cryogenic stasis chambers. While each of these humanoids varies from each other slightly in appearance, genetic analysis shows their DNA is identical to that of Director Charles Ogden Gears. The stasis chambers in which each humanoid is housed appears to be powered by harnessing the cold, temperatures, and turning the lack of heat into an energy source. The technology is used to do this not well understood and theorized to be anomalous in nature. Additionally, each chamber is branded with a logo that resembles that of Prometheus Labs, except for a few key differences. Foundation contacts at Prometheus Labs have confirmed that no such cryogenic stasis cells have been developed by the company, nor have they developed technology capable of harnessing energy from the cold as these machines have. SCP-4056 contains a single furnished room that contains a bed, changes of clothes, a refrigerator with an apple, and a single jar of strawberry jam in it, and a nightstand with a lamp and a picture of a man resembling Director Charles Ogden, years at the age of 34, with a woman resembling his wife. Discovery Incident 4056-0.01. On April 5th, 2049, POI 4056 infiltrated Site-7 through unknown means. The subject was first detected by Foundation security systems at 2102 outside Director Dr. Charles Gears' office. The following interaction was recorded between Dr. Gears and POI-4056. Incident Log 4056. Begin log. POI-4056 opens the door to Dr. Gears' office and stops as he and Dr. Clef turn to face her. POI-4056. What? Dr. Clef. Oh, come in. We're not in a meeting, just two old men shooting the breeze. Dr. Gears. Janitorial services concluded at 6, and I cannot locate the badge on your person. Is this not a member of site staff? Dr. Gears rises from seat after activating a silent alarm. Dr. Clef produces his authorized carry weapon and stands. Dr. Clef. Well, who are you? POI-4056. Oh boy. How are you still awake? Dr. Clef points his weapon at 4056. 4056 inspects her pockets before putting her hands at her hips. God damn it, I even triple checked. Years. Though I don't believe we've met, you seem oddly familiar. 4056. Whatever, doesn't matter. Come on. I'm getting you out of here. Years. I do not intend on leaving this office. 4056. I would ask nicely, but it's never worked before. But please? Please, please, please? 4056 takes a step towards Dr. Gears and Dr. Clef, a length of rope manifesting in her hand. Dr. Clef, hey! Dr. Clef whistles to get POI 4056's attention, steadying his aim. I wouldn't take another step if I were you. 4056. Alto, please, just this once. Dr. Clef, I never told you my name. Dr. Clef fires a single tracking round into POI's left arm, and POI 4056 stops and grasps her wound before disappearing in a flash of green light. Dr. Clef, didn't take you for the kind to leave broken hearts behind, Charlie. Ex-lover of yours, eh? Gears, do not antagonize me, Alto. We have an incident report to file. We? Hell no, you can file the paperwork. I've got game to hunt. I would like to accompany you. Dr. Clef laughs. Dr. Clef, son of a bitch, Charlie. You thought you'd have... never thought you'd have it in you, heh. Let's get going. Are you a shotgun man or more of an AR guy? Neither, I'm afraid. End log. I felt messy. POI 4056 has been added to Foundation Registry. Subject is of mixed race, female and thaumaturgically capable. I have no clue what that word is. Additionally, POI 4056 appears to possess detailed information on the Foundation and several members of its personnel. 4056 was tracked to SCP-4056. Addendum 4056.2. After locating SCP-4056 by following the tracker lodged into POI-4056, Foundation personnel led by Dr. Gears waited until POI-4056 was no longer detected within SCP-4056 before entering the facility. Below is a list of humanoids inspected by Dr. Gears and cleared for further investigation. Designation AVN-98822. Subject's brain emits blue-colored bioluminescence and is slightly enlarged. Status: assigned to Site-34 Research Facility. Designation AVN-36241. Instant speaks in incomprehensible bird-like squawks. Hair possesses a feather-like texture. Status: stored in SCP-4056. Designation AVN-223647. Body is an amorphous mass. Subject expressed overwhelming pain upon the deactivation of its pod. Status: stored in SCP-4056. Designation AVN-64573. Object is genetically identical to Dr. Gears, but shares no personality traits. Of note, the subject is in possession of a starburst-cut ruby ring, which it wears on its right ring finger. Status: stored in SCP-4056. Designation AVN-95412. Subject lacks a physical body and appears as a brain suspended in an unknown fluid within a seemingly indestructible tank. Behaves and speaks similar to baseline Dr. Gears. Status: in Site-17 storage. Designation AVN-1221. Subject physically appears similar to Dr. Gears, but moves stiffly and often speaks in non-sequiturs. Closer examinations of the subject indicate it is an autonomous robot installed with a presumably faulty AI, which is suspected to be the reason behind the subject's unusual speech pattern. Status: in Site-17 storage. Designation AVN 966315. No anomalous properties. Subject deemed closest to baseline Dr. Gears. Status in-Site 17 confinement. Addendum SCP-4056.3. AVN 966315 has awoken from its cryostasis because it appeared to be one of the SCP-4056 instance that was closest to baseline Dr. Gears. The following interview took place between Dr. Gears and AVN 966315 to attempt to gain understanding into the purpose of SCP-4056. Interview 4056-1. Begin transcript. Gears, afternoon. AVN, afternoon, Dr. Gears. Do you know where you've been recovered from? No. All I know is that wherever I was being taken, it was for my own good. He'd awakened me when, and I quote, the coast was clear. Why do you think this? Because that's what your daughter told me before the sedative kicked in. I must correct you, but I can assure you that whoever kidnapped you was not my daughter. Is this not your home dimension? She did not come from here. We don't know where she came from yet. Regardless, she is still Allison. She is labeled POI-4056 and is currently being investigated by the Foundation and is believed to be actively working to endanger its personnel. She's not my daughter and is likely not yours either. Maybe not yours or mine, but someone like us, and I know that I raised my Allison to be honest with her parents. There's a 10-second silence as Dr. Gears takes notes. Gears, have you interacted with any other individuals sharing our identity? Avian, I have not. Just AI. Just Al. POI 4056. Yes. And you trust her? My daughter would not lie to me. And yours? There's a 5-second pause. She would not. Then we are in agreement. That will conclude this interview. End transcript. Addendum 4056.4. Following the interview with AVN 966315, Dr. Gears authorized Operation Icebox, MTF Alpha 99, Refrigerators, led by Dr. Clef and Dr. Gears, were stationed at SCP-4056 in an attempt to ambush and capture POI-4056. On September 8, 2049, POI-4056 appeared and Operation Icebox commenced. Incident Log 4056. Begin log. POI-4056 appears through a portal in front of MTF Alpha 99 members Echo 12 and Delta 5 within SCP-5. What? Why does this feel so weird to read? Within SCP-4056. Echo 12. Shit, sir. Delta 5. Hands up, lady. Alpha, this is Echo 12. We found her. Track our signal. POI-4056 points their right index and middle finger at both guards, firing a projectile of blue energy at them. Both guards collapse as if frozen. POI-4056. Yikes. Hope I didn't hit them too hard. 4056 examines the guards' bodies. A door opens further down the hall. Dr. Gears approaches at a standard pace. What the hell? You never go out in the field. What are you doing here? Dr. Gears, I have alerted our forces on location. They will arrive shortly. I suggest you immediately surrender yourself. Whatever. You coming here saves me a bunch of time. I don't have a lot of time to explain, but if you trust me on this, I can explain late. I'm afraid that I have to refuse. Go quietly. Refuse to go quietly. Well, I'm not surprised you'd say that. You don't carry weapons on you, so it'll be hand to hand. I'm stronger and faster. So I'll get the better of you. We've done this before, and you've never come out on top. I've never done this before. Other yous have. 4056 raises their hands towards Dr. Gears, who draws a stun gun. But I am not them. You wouldn't shoot me your own your own daughter, would you? Dr. Gears aims at 4056. My daughter? You're not Allison. I am certain of this. Might not be her exactly, but I am Allison. Please, just listen to me. Dr. Gears hesitates and lowers his stun gun. I'm begging you. I can explain everything later, but right now, I need you to work with me. The sound of remaining members of MTF Alpha 99 approaching can be heard. Please, I just want to... 6 members of MTF Alpha 99 enter the hallway from the northern access point. Dr. Gears raises his stun gun again, training it on 4056. Dad? Dr. Gears fires and then immediately drops the stun gun. 4056 staggers, attempting to escape before falling. MTF Alpha 99 seizes and constrains 4056. Shit. End log. Dr. Gears refused to comment on his interaction with POI 4056 following her detainment. Foundation records indicate Dr. Gears' daughter Allison Chow died in the vehicle collision with her mother in December of 2019. Addendum 4056.05. Following the capture of POI 4056, an interview was held by Dr. Gears to attempt to gain insight into the assailant's actions. POI 4056 is being temporarily contained at Site 17 until a sufficiently secure containment cell is constructed at Site 34. Interview 4056-2. Begin log. Greetings. Hi, Dad. Hi, Dad. Why do you call me this? Well, even over all the different multiverses, you don't change all that much. I mean, the version of you from my universe has a little more hair on his head, but that's the biggest difference. I guess it just feels the same. I would appreciate it if you refrained from referring to me as a family member. Fine. You have a question, I assume? Why did you attempt to capture me? To save you. Save me from what? I don't fucking know. There's so much terrible shit that goes on here that I could be saving you from. Being lobotomized, spending an eternity in a nightmare slumber, probably something else. But you're not saving you from a known threat. No, but no. There was nothing known. And I infer from this that the facility we found you in the north was where you gathered the other versions of me that you saved? Yes, well, I didn't gather them all myself. I had help. Other versions of you? Yes. Why are you trying to save versions of me? What kind of question is that? I do not understand what vested interest you have in keeping me alive. Or any other versions of me alive. If they are as similar to me as you say, they most likely lived lives detached from you. I mean, you're not wrong, but, it's more than just that. Could you please elaborate? I don't want you to die, or something worse. I've saved other versions of you from being locked up inside their own head, unable to communicate with the rest of the world. And other ones I saved from being enslaved by a world of mutants, or being digested forever in the stomach of a giant fucking bird. Just suffering, forever. Which might happen to you now. I don't want my dad to live out his life as a brain in a fucking trash bag. But I'm not your father. But you're still him. You still have your own Allison. I don't want to see you suffer just like she wouldn't want to see you suffer. While continuing to take notes. Actually, my daughter died with her mother in a car crash before the event of Omega K. Oh, I see. That's why this universe wasn't responding to our communication. POI 4056 looks into her lap and Gears finishes writing. I believe that's all I have for today. So you're going to keep me here, right? That's what we're supposed to do. Your own daughter. You are not baseline, and technically you are not my daughter. Yeah, I guess I'm not. It'd be foolish of me to expect much else from you anyways. Indeed. And as per standard Foundation protocol for humanoid anomalies, we'll have to build for you a social regimen with regular checkups. POI 4056 nods. Dr. Gears. As the lead on this project, that means that I'll be the one performing the weekly interviews. You're coming back? I'll see you in 7 days, Allison. End log. Well, set until 3. That's 3:05. Yeah, I'm gonna end it here. Some good reading. Hopefully, won't be 5 days until my next stream again. You have a good night.